Today we are gonna install and adjust the SRAM red eTAP front derailleur, and what you'll need for this encounter is a 2mm hex wrench, a 2.5mm hex wrench, a 4mm hex wrench, a 5mm hex wrench, a torque wrench with a 4mm hex, and some friction paste. Okay, since this is a used derailleur, it has the brace-on hanger wedge, which is this piece over here, already installed. This is in order to support the derailleur once it is installed, because there's quite a lot of force that comes on this little brace-on piece, if you have a brace-on, of course. So we're gonna go ahead and remove this, because we are gonna adjust the derailleur from scratch and then just install this little thingy in order to support the derailleur again. Next up, we want to have a clean surface on here and on the brace-on hanger, excuse me, and get your friction paste. Shake it well, shake it. If you have a VOR like me, it's a French brand, pretty good stuff they make, and just put a little bit of friction paste on your hands. That will be enough. Get this surface ready, because you don't want your derailleur to move while you shift. You want it to stay in the exact same position, and the friction paste will help keep it in place. You also want to be putting on some of this paste on the brace-on hanger, of course, because double security. Then we can go on and install the derailleur. For this, you want to grab your 4mm hex wrench, get your screw, and then just install it. It's quite straightforward. Just pre-install it. No real force on the screw, just tighten it loosely so you can still move the derailleur. And you will already hear this sandy noise the friction paste makes, but this is good, this is really good. So we have to use less torque on the screw in the end. Okay, so SRAM, like many other brands like Shimano and also Campagnolo, they recommend that you use a space of between 1 and 2 millimeters between the biggest teeth and this plate here. I reckon you can go as low as 1 fingernail even. Of course, you can stay a little bit higher than that if you're not sure. But you can go really low, lowest possible, as long as it doesn't touch the tooth, okay? SRAM actually put a line on the inner plate, and you should align the teeth with this plate. But we've had some shifting issues with the front, like dropping the chain. So I'm just gonna go ahead and really go to the limit, and as I can see, it's still nicely on the line, so no worries over there. For the alignment of the derailleur, you'll see some lines. One is on top of here, a white line, and the other is down here. And you just align those lines with the bigger plate of your crankset, and then it's aligned. So it is aligned successfully. Now we need to tighten it so it doesn't move at all. For this, you're gonna grab your torque wrench, 4mm hex, get it about to 4 Newton meters, just under it maybe. SRAM says 5 to 7, but as we put a nice amount of friction paste, we can go really quite lower than that. I go just under 4 Newton meters in order to not screw up that screw. So you heard a little thingy, clack clack, 4 millimeters, just fine. I mean Newton meters, sorry about that. Next up, we're gonna set the limit screws for the front derailleur. We have 2 limit screws, the upper and the lower. The upper is for the high limit, so if your chain is on the bigger ring, the lower limit is for the smaller ring. So for the upper limit screw, you want to turn it clockwise in order to move the plate inward. See it right there. And just be sure that you have about half of a millimeter between the plate and the chain. In order to adjust the lower limit, of course, shift your chain to the highest, to the biggest cock in the cassette, and to the smaller ring. For the smaller ring, you have this nice little button on the derailleur which just shifts it down. For the lower limit, you want to turn the screw clockwise in order to move the plate out, and anti-clockwise in order to move it inward. Also here, make sure the plate and the chain have a space of at least half a millimeter. And then you're just about done. Alright, we have now a nicely shifting SRAM red eTAP group set. Go to the big ring. No worries, small ring. No dropping the chain anymore. Smaller red derailleur is fine anyway. No dropping the chain here either. We have a nice working eTAP. Thank you for watching, guys. Hit me up if you have any questions, and have a nice day.